Welcome back to the Daily Dose. My name is Mark. I'm one of the pastors here at Gateway, and we are continuing our series on lament. In the previous episode, Vicki helpfully walked us through just an understanding of what lament is and why a lot of times for many of us it's hard to do that. There's a lot of hindrances or misconceptions that often prevent us from accepting God's invitation to lament. And so I want to dive a little bit deeper into that and this idea of a contrast between inward versus Godward. Inward versus Godward. And I want to read this verse from Numbers 14:2. This is right after the spies go into the land of Canaan and they come back and go, there's giants and there's lots of other people there. We're not going to be able to take it over. And the Israelites begin grumbling and complaining. They're really upset by this. And this is what it says. All the people of Israel grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The whole congregation said to them, would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would that we had died in this wilderness. And they start grumbling and complaining. And the word that's used in here for grumble and complain is the same word that's used to dwell or abide or spend the night. And this is a great picture of what lament isn't. This is this inward grumbling, complaining. It's creating this sense of defeatism. It's identifying with suffering, not in a healthy way, but saying, this is what defines me. It's creating a sense of victimization or entitlement. I deserve better than this. It would be better to have anything other than where I'm at right now. And a lot of the reason why we struggle with lament is because we naturally think about it as an inward direction, this grumbling or complaining. And that's right, we ought not to do that. But the invitation for us in lament is not this inward focused, at the exclusion of everyone else, just grumbling and complaining and dwelling on the pain of my situation, but rather taking that in a Godward direction. Rather than crying out to myself about my situation, crying out to God. The Godward direction of lament is this recognition that God is the one who can actually do something about this situation. And it's literally the opposite of grumbling and complaining. Grumbling and complaining is dwelling on or abiding in the pain of my situation. The invitation to lament is this invitation to abide in Jesus, to abide in his character, to abide in his promises and the hope that he presents. It's hard for us to do that if we're not first honest about the things that we need hope in and the difficult situations that we need deliverance from. And so as we're continuing this series and continuing examining this idea of lament, it's important for us to have this distinction. We're not invited into this inward grumbling and complaining about how terrible everything is. Rather, we're invited to bring that in a Godward direction, to the one who can actually do something about it. And we'll continue to examine that thread and that theme as we continue on in this series of lament.